Yes, everybody, welcome to Ep.4 Rags to Riches podcast. Today we've got a very, very special guest. Very famous if you're from Birmingham as well. In fact, probably nationwide now. Mr. Yakoob, listen, thank you so much for coming.
Thank you very much for having me.
You want to introduce yourself to everyone?
My name is Akhmed Yakoob. I'm a criminal defence lawyer from Birmingham and specialise in serious crime. I am the director of Morris Andrews Solicitors, and as David just said, I am well recognised in the Midlands and also in the UK.
You pop up all over Instagram, man.
Yeah, it's one of them ones.
Yeah, everybody knows for every what?
Remember, there's a defence for every offence.
Yeah. Every time I'm about to do something bad, I think, I'll just call you.
Well, I encourage people not to do bad stuff. I've been reported, believe it or not, to the Solicitors Regulation Authority for inciting criminal behaviour.
Really?
Yeah, I've been reported to them first, but then obviously you get a chance to give your representations, and I've made representations, and they've said...
What's that for? From Instagram or...?
From all over. So a few of my videos, obviously people don't like it. Some barristers actually, who are meant to be my peers and my acquaintances, they've put it on Twitter. I'll show you the link later. They've put it on Twitter saying, who's this lawyer from TikTok? And some people who were commenting on it, they actually know me. Really? And I was like, what are they doing that for? You know what I mean? Isn't it? They don't, and it really annoys me, upsets me really, and I think because when I see people do well, I'm actually happy for them. Yeah. And I think, you know what, the guy's doing something or the girl's doing something with their life. It's good, especially if they've come from areas like we've come from, like you've come from Handsworth. I was brought up in Perry Bar, Aston. Yeah. And I get happy when I see my own people or any people doing well. Yeah. But there's some people out there that they can't digest other people's success for some reason. I don't know why. Yeah. But
so these people saying that you're inciting criminality, is that because you say, remember for every offence there is a defence?
That is well, remember there's a defence for every offence.
But isn't that the point of a lawyer?
That is the point of a lawyer. That's why I try to tell people, I'm doing my job, let me do my job. You guys do your job, I'm doing my job. Every time I've been reported to the Solicitors Regulation Authority, they've taken no further action because I've explained everything to them. And I'm sure they're watching me anyway, and if they had an issue with me, without people reporting me, they would get in touch anyway if they had a real issue. But once somebody reports it, it's like the police. When somebody reports them to the police, they have to take action, don't they? Yeah, so it's one of them ones. So when people are reporting, they always have to make contact with the person that the report is made against. So they have been in touch with me twice. But every time I've explained my situation to them and they've taken no further action and they agree with me.
Silly. Yeah. It's like me saying, the PT called me fat. Like, why did I get a PT? Because I'm fat. You know what I mean?
Exactly. It's like, it's one of them ones and then people just...
So, tell us a little bit about, obviously you're very, very successful now. Came here in a very nice car. I know you've got all the cars and whatnot. Your firm, Morris Andrews, it doesn't sound like where did that name come from?
See, Morris Andrews Solicitors is a firm that I used to work for. Let me tell you a little story. This is a good story. So in 2011, I started working for a firm in November of 2011. It was in Handsworth. Yeah. A very bad experience, but it is what it is. So, do you know what a DX is? Document exchange.
Yeah.
The DX is a service where you put your documents somewhere, and it's a quick service rather than Royal Mail. So this building, Morris Andrews Solicitors, which is my building now, used to be our DX holder. Yeah, okay. So we used to go every day about 4 o'clock to this firm because there was a box outside, and we used to put our DX there. I was a kid doing work experience at that time. Yeah. And I used to go there and think, what a lovely building. I wish I have a building like this someday and work in an office like this. The office was no good. It was in dusty.
Typical paper everywhere.
Everywhere. This is horrible. The building was horrible in the state, but I just like the look of the building. You've seen it. I like the look of the building because it's an old building and I knew we could do something to it or with it. Anyway, fast forward a few years, I never had the best experience at the first place I was. I'll be honest with you, I got told I was useless. I got told I can't speak English properly. Mm-hmm. I got told I'm not going to get anywhere in life. That actually drove me to do better. So the person I used to work for, my boss at that time, my ex-boss, he says to me, what are your plans?
Yeah. Is this Morris Andrews?
No. I'm getting to that.
I'm
getting to that. So I used to, when I used to work there, he used to say, look, you are not going to get nowhere in life. You don't know how to speak English properly, and you think too much of yourself. And he says, what are your plans after you leave here? I go, I want to open my own firm, and I want to have the busiest firm in Birmingham.
Yeah.
So he laughed at me, and he named a few people who were quite big in the legal profession at that time.
Yeah.
And he says to me, do you think you can compete with the likes of these people? Because it doesn't look like it, because you haven't got the work rate. It wasn't the work rate. If someone disrespects me, if someone doesn't treat me properly,
Yeah.
I'm not going to give them my all. Simple as that.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? So I says to him, the people that you've just mentioned, brother, they won't be able to compete with me when I'm up and running.
Yeah. And you said that with chest, you believed
Proper,
it, yeah?
I believe because I believe in the Lord, man. I
Yeah.
believe everything is from the Lord.
Yeah.
Everything is from the Lord. We are nothing as humans, I'll be honest with you.
100%,
That's my belief.
Yeah.
And I stick by that. I tell my kids that as well, all
Yeah.
the time. Everything comes from the Lord, so never get big-headed. And I'm not saying this because I'm being big-headed. I'm always grateful. I always show gratitude to the Lord, but I'm just telling you my story, innit?
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
So then we opened up a firm in Birmingham city centre. I opened up a firm with my brother, my older brother. He specialises in conveyancing and commercial stuff. It wasn't working out in the city centre because of parking and stuff like that. We wasn't getting much clients. Mm-hmm. So then what I did was I said to him, look, I need to do my own thing as in crime. So I've been passionate about criminal law from day one. When you hear about law, I don't know about yourself, but I automatically imagine someone in handcuffs or someone in a police station or someone up in court.
Yeah,
you don't
yeah,
imagine someone sitting behind a desk selling houses. It is what it is.
Yeah.
So then I walked into this firm then, Maurice Andrews Solicitors. Mm-hmm. I walked into the firm and I says to the guy, look, this is me and I want a job. He goes, there's no jobs available at the moment. Mm-hmm. Bear in mind, I was a qualified solicitor at that time with 3 kids. And he says, I've got no jobs available because I'm winding down. He goes, I'm winding down. I want to retire soon. He's an old man. I'm still in touch with him.
Yeah.
Lovely guy. Maurice Andrews himself. Lovely, lovely guy. So I says to him that, look, I don't want no money from you. He got shocked. He goes, how are you going to live? I go, look, I've got ways and means. I'm going to try to bring you as much work as possible.
Yeah.
And you pay me a consultant fee for bringing you the work.
Yeah.
So I'm not on a salary. Mm-hmm. But my main thing was to learn at that time, because at my old firm I didn't learn much at all, because it was just a negative atmosphere, so I wasn't learning. So I says to him that, look, you teach me, I'll bring you work, you give me what you want out of the work. Simple.
Yeah.
So that's when I started. I started there in 2014. Mm-hmm. Worked there for free up until 2016. But during that time I was basically in talks with Maurice to get the business off him. Obviously, I wasn't happy with the figures, and we kept going back and forth. Mm-hmm. And in the end, we shook on a deal. In 2016, October 2016, shook on a deal, and I bought the firm off him.
Yeah.
Yeah, I bought the firm off him.
And how did you get the money to buy it? From bringing the work in? From
bringing the work in as well, which was not that much, and more so from friends and families.
Yeah.
Friends and family loaned me money at that time. I never had a penny. See, I come from a family who's quite well off, but I've got I wouldn't say ego, I wouldn't say pride, I think self-respect, and not having someone point fingers at you afterwards and saying, look, I made you because of me.
Put you there, yeah.
Because of me, you're here.
Yeah.
Even if it's family, I'm not that sort of person. I can't take that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
That's the kind of opinions I've gained at my old firm.
Yeah.
And I thought, look, I don't want to be in that position again. So I've got a big network.
Yeah.
I've built it up over the years. Not just in law. I know a lot of people. Generally, I just know a lot of people. So a lot of people help me, and I'm still in touch with them. Mm-hmm. And I tell everyone when I meet someone with a certain person who's helped me in the past, I make it known. Without this guy, I would never have been where I am.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And there are some people that are still in the same places that they used to be then. And I help them out, offer them help now. Because without you, I wouldn't have been where I am, you know what I mean?
Yeah,
so I offer them a lot of help. So, yeah, that's where Maurice Andrews came about.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So how long has it been yours now? Since
2016.
Yeah. And has it grown?
It's grown loads, man. It's
you got staff now?
I've got loads of staff.
So this guy that told you that you're no good, where's he? What's he doing? I want to know where he's at.
He's
Where
not.
are you?
He's not doing
You
better.
think he's watching?
He probably is going to be watching, but he's not doing better than me. I'm not being arrogant. I'm not being. There's no pride. I'm not being arrogant, but he's not doing better than me. Alhamdulillah. That means all praise be to the Lord.
I'm trying to picture this guy. Is he white guy, black guy, Asian guy?
Asian, Pakistani guy.
Yeah.
Yeah, Asian, Pakistani guy. But he had a sort of I don't know, inferior ego sort of thing that he used to think is better than everyone. Do you know what I mean?
How old are you?
I'm 34.
34.
I'm 34 years old, yeah.
Yeah.
And but I was 24, 25 at that time. I was a kid.
I want to be like you when I grow up.
No,
I'm 37.
No, you look younger than me.
I've had a hard life. I look a bit older than that.
No, you look younger than me. I don't know. I mean, I don't know. I think you do look.
You just look more mature because you've got like a £100,000 watch.
Nah, it's not 100,000.
We had a jeweler on actually in episode 1.
Okay.
There's a jewelry place in Jewelry Court, Mr. Chain.
Okay.
He came. What did he have on, Mike? Was it like one of those? Sky Dweller. He had a Sky Dweller.
Okay, this is dangerous. It's all right.
Yeah, I got a Datejust as well.
So I like my watches. I like, what it is. I like to look after.
Do you
them.
think that's like a status? Do you know what? You know when like because I bet some of your clients they have money, right?
Of course they do.
So
yeah.
they need money to pay you.
Yes,
yeah.
yes.
So do you think if they came to your office and you addressed scruffy, had like a Casio watch,
You see,
do you think you'd be as successful? Or do you think
David, if you catch me, like today, I've specifically dressed up for this podcast.
Yeah.
If you walk into the office, 9 times out of 10, I'll probably be in a tracksuit.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna lie to you.
Is that once the clients know you though?
The clients
Obviously,
already
you can't
know
go
me.
court like that. Otherwise,
No,
they'll
of
think you're on
course, you
trial.
can't go court. The only time I wear a suit is when I go to court, if I've got an event to go to.
Yeah.
Other than that, I'm in a tracksuit. I just
Yeah.
feel comfortable in them. But my clients come to referrals and people who already know me. So they
Yeah.
know what I'm about already.
Yeah.
So I tend to, sometimes I do wear a suit and sometimes I just be in my casuals.
Yeah.
But it does make an impact. I know what you're saying. The society we're living in,
Yeah.
they look at how you dress first before
Yeah.
they make conversation with you.
No, it's true. I said to someone before, like weird story actually. So my watch, I don't wear it often, but I was wearing it all the time. And then I bought an Apple Watch because I get a lot of notifications. I'm
need to
always
get one of
checking
them.
my phone. Now they come up on here.
I need to get one of them.
So there was like a week when I wasn't wearing a watch at all. And I'd go
Your wrist
into
feels
like, not even that. I would go into the city centre or certain areas and in fact it was my friend that noticed it and I'd do that. And I didn't think that I was doing it. I know a lot of people, do you know what I mean? And I'd like to think I feel quite safe in my own, in Birmingham, Hampton, those kind of areas. But you do that and you think, wow. And you're conscious of it, but that same guy said to me, well, why do you have the watch if like that? Sometimes it's, like on Instagram or TikTok or anything, you get the little blue tick.
Yeah.
With certain people, your watch is almost like your verification.
It's true.
It's sad, but materialistic things.
That's the world we're living in.
Validate you, don't they?
That's the world we're living in. It shouldn't be like that, but it is like that, unfortunately.
Yeah.
So you gotta live with the times, innit? Really.
Yeah. So on the subject of haters, you must have haters. Have you got haters?
I got loads. I got loads, but I don't really entertain them. I mean, on my socials, I get loads of comments. Where did this guy get his law degree from?
Oh, that's just internet, though. Do you know what I mean?
And all of that stuff. But I know people who I know personally who have helped in life.
Yeah.
And they've been talking bad about me, but I just brush it off, innit? It's one of them ones, you can't throw stones every dog that barks at you, innit?
Yeah, it's true. It's true.
No disrespect to anyone. But it is what it is.
So obviously I've met you from Instagram, I've met
Yeah.
you from social media. I bet do you get a lot of people coming up to you, almost like your local celebrity type?
Yeah, I get loads. Especially if I walk through town
Or
or...
they ask for a picture or...
Yeah, they do.
Yeah?
They do.
Do you think you've had business from that?
Yes, I have, but also a lot of time wasters.
Really?
A lot of time wasters who just who'll message me and say, look, I need help urgently, so...
Some dumb shit like a parking ticket or something?
Yeah, so I'm thinking, come on, that wasn't even worth my number. Now they've got my number,
Yeah.
now they're going to give my number to other people, we're going to waste more of my time, but it is what it is, isn't it?
Yeah, it's just how it is.
Part and parcel of...
Yeah. Do you know what I was thinking about doing? I was thinking about getting, those old phones that can't have GPS and nothing on it, yeah, like a basher type phone.
Yeah.
I'm sure you're familiar with them,
Yeah, I
with your
got loads.
clients, yeah.
Burner phone, burner.
Yeah,
Let's
like
call
a
it
burner, yeah.
Yeah.
And just have that and only give the number to like important people that need to get hold of me. And then when I'm not enjoying working hours, I just leave this in the office.
That's exactly
And then I
what.
can't look at social media, no one can ring me, no WhatsApp, no nothing, and then bam.
That's perfect. You know what it is? I was speaking to my missus about that because she gets annoyed when my phone just ping. Like I've had a few missed calls on me and I got loads of notifications. So it's. I was talking to my missus about that. She goes, get a number, just give it to 10 or 15 people that really would need your number in an emergency.
Yeah.
Not clients, because
Yeah.
clients, it's always an emergency for them. And make this number your work number, and
Yeah.
that's it. Give it to one of your assistants so they can answer it when you're not there.
Yeah, because when we were kids, there was no mobile phone.
There was no mobile
You're home
phone.
when you're home, innit?
You're home, exactly.
If there's a message that's that important to get to someone,
Somebody will find you.
Yeah, they'll find you, innit?
Like even before we were kids, when there was no even house phones, there was no landlines, and people still used to get hold of people.
Yeah.
But I sometimes think to myself, how does
you ever had anybody try and smuggle one into court? Would
uh,
there be a need for that? Like,
in court? No, prisons they do.
yeah,
Prisons. A lot of people get caught with phones in prisons.
yeah. Have you got clients in prison?
I've got loads. Of
Hopefully not lots.
Well, I'm on a mission to empty the prisons out, aren't I? But there's still people who are there. I mean, for serious offences, just say you get charged with murder.
Yeah.
It's next to impossible to get bail.
Really?
To just get charged. So you're going to be on remand for best part of 6 months until your trial comes up.
Do you think that the laws in England are a little bit weird? Like, so I've got a lot of friends in America. Our software partners based in Las Vegas.
Okay.
And I was out there and one of the guys said to me, "It's like, you guys are dumb." And I was like, "What?" He said, "Well, the criminals are allowed to have guns, but you're not allowed to have guns." I'm like, "Well, I'm not sure. That I get what you mean, but a criminal can get hold of a gun, right? And they can come and try and carjack me or do whatever. In America, you can have a, concealed carry license or something to have a gun. Do you think that would be a good thing to have here? Because I'm not sure. But the way it's going, these kids now, bro.
It's like it's like there's a shop selling them and they get hold of it so easily. I don't know what the answer to your question would be. I don't know whether that would be a good idea or not. Because if you got a gun on you and somebody comes to rob you, you're going to end up shooting him. And you probably get done for murder.
That's what I mean. I don't even understand the law myself. So if somebody was to try and break into my house and I end up, I don't know, some bloody Street Fighter stuff on them, I'm going to jail.
That's what happened to an old man recently. I don't know if you've seen it. A couple of years ago, somebody broke into an old man's house and hit him with something and the guy died. He got charged with murder. I don't know what happened to him after that, but I felt sorry
what's the
for
guy
him.
doing in his house?
Exactly. There's something called occupier's liability.
Yeah.
So if a burglar breaks into your premises, or somebody walks into your premises and he falls and trips and gets injured, he can sue you under occupier's liability. I learned that in university. I don't know, it's been a while, but it's something along them lines.
Is this to do with like old English law? Because this is a weird country, to be fair. We've got weird laws.
We have got a few weird laws, old ones. That's one of them. But yeah, don't know. We live here, innit? So we've got to live with it.
Yeah, of course. Would you say, obviously you're a real guy, would you say as a lawyer, do you think some of the laws, not just for criminal stuff, well, I suppose everything's criminal if you're breaking the law, isn't it? But like tax, business type stuff, do you think some of these laws were put in place for the people at the top to benefit from? Because obviously a law's made to be broken, isn't it?
Yeah.
Or is it not? I don't know.
Well,
or a law's made for you to find a way around it.
Finding a way around it.
Obviously not murder.
Not murder, but I mean, if you haven't done, let me give you a quick example of murder. Now, if you've gone into a place to rob that place, just say, burgle that place, not rob. Robbery and burglary are two different scenarios. So a robbery would be if somebody comes up and say, "Oi, give me your phone."
Yeah.
Causing fear to you. A burglary would be and snatching the phone off you. A burglary would be somebody breaking into your house whilst you're not there, or even if you're there, you not being aware, and he just takes your phone and goes. That's burglary.
Really?
So if you have gone into a house with the intention of causing burglary and someone's there now and says, what are you doing here, and picks up a knife, and you have a fight and that guy dies, unfortunately, you're not guilty of murder. Because your intention when you went into their premises was just to take that phone and get out of there.
No way.
Do you know what I mean? Yeah. You have to have an intention to cause serious harm, or you have to have an intention to kill. If those two intentions are not present, you're not guilty.
Anyone out there's got issues with me, I'm getting away with it. He watches.
He knows
is that a threat? Can I go to jail for that?
He knows there's a defense for every offense.
No, the laws are
but
crazy.
somebody comes into your house, tries to burgle you. Exactly, this is thing, innit? I mean, and you get killed.
Yeah.
They could. It's weird.
Inshallah, that doesn't happen.
Inshallah, it won't, man. Inshallah, it won't. But yeah, it's
talking about that. You're Muslim, right? Yeah.
Yeah.
So I've been seeing on the internet loads about this Andrew Tate guy. Who's apparently
he's turned Muslim.
Video and he's converted to Muslim. I've got a different view on this. I'm going to tell you, and you tell me what you think.
Yeah, go on.
I think it's a load of BS. I'll tell you why.
For publicity.
I think he's doing it for clout, because obviously Islam has got a huge following, right? And what's he going to pick up now?
All that following. Because
I don't think he's a genuine guy. Some of the stuff he says, I really like.
Me as well. Some of the stuff he says, I do like it as well. But some stuff, I think is
he's a master marketing guy.
He's very good at marketing. That you have to give credit where it's due, man. And of course, some of his views were not Islamic at first. So I think he was losing followers and losing the audiences. But now that he says that he's converted to Islam, he needs to change them views.
Yeah.
Otherwise, it's just going to look like...
Well, he keeps talking about this, we're in the Matrix and all that stuff, but what's he using to get his pub? Like, would you go and pray and video to say, guess what, guys, I'm praying now?
No.
It's a weird thing, isn't it?
I mean, to be fair, I do that. I'm not going to lie to you, because it inspires a lot of people. I do that.
Yeah, but the way his stuff was filmed was like, it wasn't that.
It wasn't.
Do you know what I mean?
Just showing, and
yeah.
I mean, I do it for a reason, to just because I've had messages to say I didn't used to pray before, but now that I've seen some of your stories, and because I go to the mosque every morning, whatever time I get, like every morning, there's a mosque near my office as well, so I try to go.
Have you always done that?
I've been doing that since primary school.
Yeah.
Primary school, so So when I do it, I think if somebody learns off me, then I've done the right thing, even one person. So whoever sees my stories and says, look, he's praying, and look how busy he is, and if he manages to pray, how can I say I'm busy and I can't pray?
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
You have to make time for the creator who created time.
Mm-hmm.
Do you know what I mean?
Do you think doing that, I mean, I come from Christian background. My mom's from Jamaica, West Indies. My grandma, she was very religious. We used to have to say our prayers before bed and all that kind of stuff. Okay. And I went to a Roman Catholic school. But being God-fearing, I think, kept me out of a lot of trouble. Not saying I haven't done bad stuff. I've done bad stuff, as we all do. It's hard to keep out. I've been crown court, but I'm not guilty or whatever.
Not guilty.
Yeah, I wasn't even my fault. But I've been through that. But I've never done anything stupidly bad, because I would say I'm good. I'm God-fearing. I'm not worried about what the judge is going to say, or my family are going to think bad of me, or any of that stuff. I'm thinking, you know what?
He's watching, isn't he?
Yeah, man.
I always think that. I always think that, and I think that's part of that's a huge part of my success.
Yeah.
Because, like you said, before I do something, I think that person may not be watching, that person may not be watching. But you can't hide from the Lord, man.
Yeah.
You can't hide. I feel that one day we're going to go before Him.
Yeah.
And we're going to be asked questions.
Yeah, but remember, for every offence...
There's a defence, but I don't think there's a defence for that one.
Nah, I think you can't get out of that one.
You can't get out of that one.
I'm not going to hire you on my deathbed.
You can't get out of that one.
Self-representation at that point.
Yeah, you have
Going to your success then. So I would say you're successful based on materialistic stuff and what I see. I mean, I know it's not even easy for anyone to fake it. to be fair, because things cost money. Even if, when people say, oh, it's a rental, or he's got it on a lease, well, that's actually a sensible thing to do for one.
For business purposes, that's the best way to get cars?
Yeah, 100%.
Yeah.
100%. People might say, oh, he's borrowed that, but it's hard to fake it, so you're obviously successful. Would you say, if there was somebody watching this video who might want to be in your position, would you say to them, do you know what, anybody in this profession can get what I've got? Or would you say you've done something exceptionally different to get there? Or is it a realistic goal to say, when did you take over the firm?
2016.
Let's pretend let's pretend now, I'm a qualified solicitor, whatever. In 4 years' time, if I go and work for a firm, can I get a Lambo and a Ferrari? And
of course you can, not just in my profession. I believe anybody can do anything they want. The main thing is knowing that the Lord is the best of planners, and whatever is going to plan for you is going to be the best. Sometimes things won't work out the way you want to, but they will work out the way the Lord wants them to. So if you're talking about tips or stuff like that.
I'm just thinking, if there's somebody watching that, it's watching because of you, because people will come and watch this video because of you. People might watch because of me, or there might be a subscriber. If you're not a subscriber, please subscribe.
Subscribe, man.
Subscribe, yeah.
Got to.
Now, they might be thinking, yeah, I want to be like this guy. So there's there are a lot of people out there that put themselves on such a high bar that are in the public eye, but it isn't real. Because once you get to a certain level, it is easy to fake it. Well, if you're there, it's hard to fake it to there. But once you're there, easy to fake it to there.
If you're not making no money, and if you haven't got a penny in your pocket, like you just said, if I'm homeless now and I've got no job, or no disrespect to anyone, if I'm working in McDonald's, just say, no disrespect to the people who are working, you're working hard, carry on grafting, you're going to get somewhere in life, inshallah. But would you give me your 250, 300 grand car to drive?
Of course not.
You would not, isn't it?
Exactly.
Because if I crash it, I wouldn't have the money to pay you, would I?
100%, yeah.
Then you have to fork out the money from yourself, so you wouldn't give it to me.
Yeah.
So if someone is trying to fake you, like you said, you have to be at a certain level. To fake it.
But then those people, I think they're following, or people that look up to them, an injustice. Because if, for example, now you pull up in a Bugatti, like Tate's Bugatti or whatever, or you say, Dave, I'm coming in, get the helipad ready, and you come in a helicopter
soon,
or whatever, inshallah. But it's not a realistic, achievable thing for me to do if I was in the same profession as you or the same industry. Then I could be thinking, what am I doing wrong? I'm failing, and I might throw in the towel. People suicide, even some people.
See, saying that, I've seen people in their profession for 20, 30 odd years, and they haven't got to what they haven't achieved what I've achieved. Again, I'm not being arrogant, but they haven't achieved what I've achieved. Now, I think it is the belief in God.
Yeah.
That's the difference.
Yeah.
I have to say that because, and mom and dad.
Well, one thing, it doesn't matter which God you follow. I think everybody's God said that knowledge is power, and that you must seek knowledge.
You have to seek
knowledge.
And
I guess what you've done is you've gone to this Morris Andrews guy,
and you've done
what? You tried to seek knowledge.
Exactly.
It's been given to you. If you help yourself, so I guess, exactly what you're
When you're young, you have to work to learn, not to earn. Learn, like you said.
But kids don't want to do that now. Kids want to skip the learn and go straight to the earn, and it doesn't work. That's when they end up trying to call you to say, I need a lawyer, I've done crime.
This is what I say to my kids as well. When you're young, you can absorb you like a sponge. Even if people are saying bad stuff, you think it's bad, there may be 1% of goodness in that you can take away from it, and then you can benefit from that. I get kids nowadays coming, and they're messaging me as well on Instagram. I don't reply, I'll be honest with you, because they think everything comes on a plate. It doesn't, man. It's hard. It's very hard. I had about 5 years in this profession without making a single penny, but I kept carrying on.
People don't see that bit though.
People don't see that. I could have got a job somewhere, got minimum wage, and thought, I'm all right now, get comfortable. People in my position who I studied with are still working, probably not in the law profession. Some people are working for people in law professions. Some people are working in other jobs because they couldn't they couldn't keep up with that hunger, if you get what I mean.
Mm-hmm.
See, I used to, my elder kid now, he's 14 years old.
Mm-hmm.
So when I had him, I had nothing to my name, and I couldn't even take him out.
Yeah.
Because I think if I take him, for example, to town, city centre, or anywhere shopping centre, he may ask for something.
Yeah.
And I'll feel bad as a dad that I can't give him that.
Yeah.
So I never used to take him to places.
Yeah.
Well, these guys had it easy, the younger ones.
Yeah.
So you have to be willing to go hungry, man. I don't mean hungry as in no food, but just not having the good things in life.
Yeah.
Not having money sometimes.
Yeah.
You know, your bills are not being paid sometimes, but you gotta carry on. You have to carry on. Make a good network around you that people, you can go to someone and say, look, lend me £100, lend me £200. It may sound like nothing, but...
Now your network's... Guys, sorry to butt in. I know this is a really good podcast, but what's about to happen is my voice is going to go out of sync. Now, unfortunately, for this offence, there was no defence. Sometimes you just can't get good staff. Tune into the next podcast to see if he's even still here. I seriously doubt it. But anyway, enjoy the rest of it.
But
now, your network's more important than your net worth, 100%.
100%.
Yeah.
Your network is everything.
Lots of people say it, but until you realise it...
Until I've realised it when I was struggling.
Yeah.
And I realised that, look, these people are helping me out.
Yeah.
So now's my time to help them out. So
Yeah.
never forget who helped you out in hard times, man.
Yeah.
And so I have kids coming to me now for interviews. I'll be happy with a salary of 2.5, 3 grand. I say, what? You'd be happy with that? What are you on about? You'd be happy with that? What are you going to put on the table for me?
Yeah.
Again, not in an arrogant way, but what are you going to do for me?
Yeah.
This is not all about helping you.
Yeah.
How are you going to help me?
Yeah.
The struggles I went through for the first 5 years of my profession,
Yeah.
you're not going to go through that because you've come to the right place.
Yeah.
But how are you going to benefit me?
Yeah. Yeah.
You know what I mean? But kids don't realize that. I don't know what it is, but kids don't realize it.
It seems to be a recurring theme that everybody that's become successful has had to go through that pain and hardship to get there.
You got to.
Yeah.
It's one of the. That's why I said when we were talking earlier, every successful person has not had a silver spoon in their mouth. Like I said earlier, I come from a wealthy family, but I didn't want nothing from my family.
Yeah.
I had to take a loan out to do my legal practice course.
Yeah.
I could have gone to my dad.
I think coming from a wealthy family is actually a disadvantage.
It's a very big disadvantage.
Big disadvantage. Anybody who's come from nothing and they think they've got the disadvantage, they've actually got the advantage because they're born into the pain.
Yeah,
so they're going to go through it.
They're going to go through it and they realise what it's like to have nothing. So yesterday we was out in the city centre. I got my little one a phone because he's been doing well in boxing. He's been after me for 1 year. So I bought the phone.
The boxing event was recently. Did you fly over Floyd Mayweather Sr.?
Yes. Our gym is pound for pound gym. Pound for pound gym in Warsaw. We've got 7 branches all over.
Yeah.
This is like a hobby for me. Me and a brother called Tohi, Dr. T, they call him. And it's like a hobby for me especially, but it's their full-time thing.
Sorry, you said you got him a phone, yeah?
I got him a phone, yeah.
Yeah.
But I told him when he come to me for the phone, I said, I don't have money.
Yeah.
Not like I don't have money in the bank. I don't have money to spend on a phone for you because you haven't proved yourself to get your phone. I couldn't go to my dad and say, get me an iPhone 14. He'd beat me up.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
He'd say, my relatives are hungry back home and you want a phone.
Yeah.
Are you mad?
Yeah,
Do you know what I mean?
It's not priority, is it?
It's not priority, man. He'll beat the shit out of me, in other words. But then we went out to eat after that. We went to Jim and Donna to have food. So we had food, and we ate, I don't know, the OG kebab or something really nice.
Yeah.
We had it, and not him, the elder one, half of it, he couldn't eat it.
Yeah.
So he says, what shall I do with that? Go downstairs, get a wrapper, get wrapped up, take the fries with you, and in the evening, when you get hungry, eat that.
Yeah.
I could have easily thrown that away, a couple of pounds, but I thought to myself, there's people out there that are struggling.
Yeah.
Like, if we was walking through the city centre and there's a falafel place open, so they've given free, like, tasters.
Yeah.
I had one.
Yeah.
It's really nice. And there's a guy there, homeless guy. He came running up and he took one, but then he was about to take another one. The guy stopped him.
Yeah.
The guy stopped him. The guy's got only one. So Amir gave his one to him.
Yeah.
So I had just seen that And that kept going to the back of my head. That look, there's people out there that don't have food, man. And we're here, we can go to any restaurant we want.
Yeah.
You know, people got Uber Eats, they can order food at their own comfort and food just comes.
Yeah.
So it's one of them ones, but I don't like wastage. So when my kids ask me for something, they have to work for it, and then I can give it to them. I don't want them to go to the same struggle that I went through, but same time, it would be, like you said, it would be a disadvantage if I give them everything, because they're going to get lazy. We're humans, man. If we've got something on our plate. Now, if somebody gives me 100, 200 million now, I'll stop going to my office.
Yeah.
I'll probably just go here and there, you know what I mean, just stroll along. But I wouldn't be seeing clients on a daily basis. I wouldn't be going to courts on a daily basis, prison visits on a daily basis, because I don't need to.
You still have to work,
I'll get lazy.
Yeah.
So it's one of them ones. So I don't want, like you said, I don't want to put my kids at disadvantage to other people, to hungrier people out there. Him as well, I says to him, he's a boxer, he wants to be a boxer, I'm going to support him. But there are people out there that don't have boxing shoes.
Yeah.
Their parents cannot afford to buy them boxing shoes, boxing gloves. And then people are hungry.
Yeah.
There's a difference between a hungry individual and a fed individual.
Yeah.
The hungry individual will always work harder.
Yeah. 100%.
Do you know what I mean?
Definitely. I remember what it was like, not even having enough coins in my pocket to buy a Snickers bar.
I know, man.
Do you know what I mean? And my pride wouldn't allow me to even go to anyone and say, oh, do you know what, I'm struggling. And then you end up doing dumb stuff.
Exactly.
And then you get told off for doing dumb stuff. It's a vicious cycle, isn't it?
It's a cycle, man. I've got a few sisters, you know, who I love to bits. And I used to go to them and say, listen, can I have £20?
Yeah.
And them sisters now, when they phone me and they say, we're a bit stuck, how much do you want?
Yeah.
Give me your account details.
Yeah.
I'll put in.
Yeah.
And I feel so blessed for being in a position that I can do that.
Yeah. Do you still look at money as money, or do you just see it as like a tool to just like be free? Or
freedom is the main thing.
Yeah.
Freedom. Freedom to do whatever you want.
Yeah.
Whenever you want.
Yeah.
Nobody giving you orders. Like me, I mean, I've my passport. I've got my passport. I think it's in the car now. If I want to fly, I could just go to Birmingham Airport now, any airport, park my car up without no luggage, go in, get my ticket and fly.
Yeah.
Wherever I want. Do you know what I mean? It's freedom mainly.
Yeah, of course. Yeah.
To do whatever you want, really, isn't it?
Yeah.
And like I said, everyone says it. I don't know if you married.
Yeah.
You've got kids.
I've got one daughter. Yeah.
They go now. It's your perspective in life must have changed, isn't it?
100%.
So whatever you're making it for here, aren't you?
Yeah.
But at the same time, you don't want to put them at disadvantage by giving them everything, because they're going to turn out lazy.
100%. I very often, my daughter goes to a private school. I'm not going to say which one. And you know, the classes are small. The other kids, obviously, they come from good families, which is important. But at the same time, like, I'm quite resilient to a lot of things because of my where I'm from originally, my upbringing and whatnot. I very often make sure that I bring my daughter to these places. So we'll go, you know, the shop on Soho Road or Handsworth where you walk in and they'll sell anything from sweets to fishing nets to whatever.
Yeah.
I take her in there and she'll look at the toys in there instead of always going to Smith's, you know, the big toy shop, where
good.
like the minimum buy-in's like 20 quid.
It's good, man.
You know, in fact, you don't even get nothing for £20 in a toy shop these days.
You don't, man.
It's important to keep them grounded.
You have to
really
keep your kids grounded, otherwise we're just going to spoil them, aren't we? And then they're going to, if you have made something in life, they're just going to spend it all, man.
Yeah.
And it's just bad. It's bad for them.
Is there plans to keep Maurice Andrews' name going through the family, or?
Well, I don't know. My elder kid is a bright kid, but I keep telling him I don't think his heart's in it. I'm not going to push my kids or force my kids to do anything. And if they want to do something, if they have a career choice, I'm going to support them 100%. I'll be behind him. Like he fights. I'm at all of his fights. Forget all of his fights. I'm at every single training session.
Yeah.
And he can't say my dad never supported me.
Yeah.
He sees kids in the gym. Their dads are not there. Their mums are not there. They'd be wearing ripped clothes. They'd be wearing ripped shoes. I look at them and you know what? I feel like crying.
Yeah, it's sad, isn't it?
It's sad.
Yeah.
It's very sad. But they're still there trying. And I always say to him, not in a bad way, I said, this kid's going to go further than you. You know, when he messes about, and I say to him, this kid will go further than you because he doesn't have a dad like me.
Yeah.
who's gonna sugarcoat everything and say, "Oh yeah, it's all right, yeah, have
The
this."
pain,
have this,
isn't
have
it?
this."
The pain.
Pain, man.
Yeah.
No pain, no gain.
Yeah. These Rocky films, man. We need to watch them and learn from them.
Yeah,
'Cause it's true.
you have to go through something in life to achieve something.
Yeah.
And then
So
if you've got
what's-
something, you can't get big-headed about it because it's all from the Lord, man.
100%. 100%. So what does the future hold for you? What's next?
What's next? I'm doing a few projects back home in Pakistan.
Yeah. I saw you built the house.
Yeah.
Mansion. It's like some Tony Stark thing, isn't it?
Yeah, it's nice. It's nice.
Yeah.
So it's So my parents live there now. My parents are retired.
Yeah.
They're here right now with us. They're gonna go back in a few weeks. So they live there, and I travel to Pakistan every couple of months.
Yeah.
Whenever I get a bit of free time, I'll go. And I'm doing stuff back home now. I've got a few building projects going on. My ultimate goal would be to retire there.
Yeah.
Again, the firm can carry on.
Yeah.
They can carry on. I've got good staff
Yeah.
around me who I think will steady the ship. It's not going to be as busy as when I'm there because everybody just wants to see my
Just wanna
face.
see you,
Whoever
yeah.
wants to come to I can say to them, look, this guy, he's got more experience than me. He's been in the game for 25 years.
But they
I say,
want
no,
you.
we want to see you.
Yeah.
I go, right, no problem, come down and see me. I got to, it's hard, but we do it. But yeah, that's my aim. I want to go to Pakistan. I want to retire there one day.
Yeah.
And just live a nice, quiet
Yeah.
life. I'm not into...
Trade the Lambo for a camel, yeah?
trade the Lambo for a horse.
A horse, yeah.
See, the Lambo as well now, my car's mainly... I was talking to him yesterday about this. I go, oh man, look, how careful I have to be when I'm driving this because I might hit it, this, that. Taking for a service is going to cost you £2,000. Where else you can have another car that's going to cost you £200-300 for service. Not being stingy or anything.
Yeah.
But these guys, not force me, but they always persuade me.
Yeah.
Buy this car next, buy that car next, buy that car next. So I do it for them really rather than myself.
Because you got the Ferrari, the new one, yeah?
The F8, yeah.
What's that like?
Really nice.
Are you into cars or?
Not really.
Really?
Not that much, I mean, my favourite car is an S-Class.
Yeah.
I've got one still. It's in a 69 plate. It's a lovely car, lovely drive. And as soon as I get hold of the new S-Class, it's really hard to get hold of them for some reason.
Yeah.
I don't know, because Mercedes never produced during
The
COVID.
Yeah.
And they're very rare cars. So as soon as I get my hands on one of them, I'm going to sell one of the cars and get that.
Yeah.
That's
Sell
my
the Ferrari,
favourite car.
man, and get a 10 S-Classes.
Yeah, I need to. I need to.
So talking about COVID, did COVID affect you or?
No, COVID didn't affect me because people are still getting arrested. It did affect me in a sense that there was no Crown Court trials happening.
Yeah.
But I had enough to carry on. If you
Yeah.
get what I mean, I had a good capital.
Yeah.
I spend less than I make. If you
That's
get what I
the
mean.
key, isn't it?
You have to spend less than you make,
Yeah.
and you got to keep afloat, isn't it? Because if you got 10, 12 members, staff working for you, you still have to pay them,
Yeah.
regardless of what you make.
True. Yeah, 'cause there are loads of firms doing like. Have you had people come to you with all this like furlough fraud and banks and all that stuff?
Loads, and when they start doing this, when the government start doing this, I said it to people. I go, a lot of people are gonna get caught because they're just setting up sole traders and getting these loans, they're setting up companies and getting these loans. They're not gonna pay them back, and the government's gonna come back for them for fraud, and that's happening. It's happening now.
Yeah. So do you do business law, criminal law, everything, or just criminal? Just criminal.
So when businesses, like you said, when businesses
So
get
does
involved in
that
some
turn to criminal though?
criminal, it's fraud.
Oh,
isn't
really?
it? Yeah, it's fraud. Tax evasion is fraud.
Yeah.
So eventually everything will turn into crime. Sometimes HMRC can have an investigation against you for tax evasion, and that will be like just an investigation. But if you don't cooperate with them, then they can just turn into a criminal investigation.
Really?
Very easily.
Summon you to Crown Court and all that.
Well, magistrates court, all offences start from the magistrates court and then it goes up to the Crown Court depending on the seriousness of it.
Wow.
Yeah.
Do you think, I'm just going to say it outright, do you think you've ever been disadvantaged in the court system or anything?
Of course.
Because of the colour of your skin?
100% I have.
Yeah.
I could see in people's eyes. I could see when I walk into a courtroom. You can see. I mean, no disrespect to anyone whoever's watching. People are going to watch this, but you have to be honest. Mm-hmm. When I walk into a courtroom, I do have a disadvantage over an uncoloured man. Mm-hmm. But it is what it is. I think I've now come to that level.
Have you ever had the feeling where you think, oh, this judge thinks I'm dodgy?
Yeah, they do.
Really?
They do. You can tell. And I've been through a lot in life. in my law profession as well. I don't want to get too much into it. I'm going to write about it. I'm going to write a book about it.
That would be good.
And what I'm going to do is, I don't want to...
Do audio books so people can listen.
Yeah, I will do that. What it is I got set up by a organisation in this country, a policing organisation, on a big, massive scale. Scale. I can't go into it right now, but the whole world will know about it sooner or later.
Yeah.
But I've been targeted a number of times, man. Number of times. Not for doing anything wrong.
Yeah.
Just by being myself. Just being out there.
Yeah.
And no explanation for it. But I've been set up on a huge level, man. Huge level. But I'm gonna go into it when I start writing.
It goes back to hate, jealousy, all those things.
It starts off with that. It all starts off with that, man.
Terrible
when you're doing well, you just make haters for free. People start hating you for free, man. Come talk to me. I'm a really nice guy, man. Come talk to me.
Go see him, man.
I'm a really nice, humble guy. You know, I keep grounded all the time. God gave me everything. You guys can't take it away from me. Simple.
Yeah. Right, guys, we're going to draw this to a close. I could literally sit here and talk for hours. This is the most interesting podcast we've had so far. I know we're only on episode 4, but I don't know how we're going to eclipse this. Now, listen, thank you so much for coming.
David, thank you very much for having me, man.
Yeah.
Thank you for having me.
Welcome to Levolution as well. I'm so happy to have you as a member.
Thank you.
Guys, we've confirmed as well that he will be on stage at our next event speaking. So if you do want to come and meet Mr. Yakoob, I'm going to keep calling him Mr. Yakoob because that's what you've got to do when you're in the presence of a celebrity solicitor. Yeah. Again, we're going to hand deliver his card, so we'll do should we do a video for that?
Yeah, no problem.
Show them your office, yeah?
Yeah, of course I do.
We'll do a separate video. We'll let you know when that. In fact, make sure you subscribe and hit the notification icon as well, because it will notify you when that video is live. Listen, I'll see you guys on the next episode.